11-0 season, and Frank Menzel, that must sound real good right now, 11-0.
Oh, yeah, it sounds great.
Take us back to those hot days of practice back in August when the drought was there and it was a long way off. Did the team talk about, after losing in the state playoffs last year by 1 point, the thought about, hey, we've got what it takes to get back there?
Yeah, we started talking about that last year when we lost that game on the bus ride home. We knew we could do it.
Controlling the ball today was a key factor in this football game. You had almost 30 minutes time of possession. Tell me a little bit about the offensive line for your club, because they did the job all season long.
Yeah, they did. They played great all season. They played the same today. You know, they were playing great out there.
And by the way, congratulations to you with your 2 touchdowns today. You will finish as Union County's leading scorer. Hey, Frank. Our stats have you as 183 rushing yards today. A great performance, and a lot of those on that quick opening play. Tell us a lot about that play, because that was one of the things that the Summit coaches told us they were worried about, the fact that you guys hit so quick to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, coaches watched the film all week, stayed up late watching. They found that if I could hit the hole quick right up the middle, and there wouldn't be anywhere there to stop me. So we just planned to do that, and it worked out. Also, another play that worked real well was the play where Dan would fake the pass and then do that little pirouette move and give it to you. It looked like a slow developing play, but it was always open. Yeah, that was a new play this week. Dan does a good job of faking it, and then they all rush up, and I just had to run through as quick as I could, and the lineman did a great job. You had over 20 carries today coming into the game today on the bus ride over. Did the coach give you any indication that you were going to get the ball that often today? Well, Frank is such a good back. We knew they were going to be keen on him, so I just had to be ready, and if I had any opportunities, I would just take it. All right, Joe, thanks very much for coming by. Congratulations on a great performance. Bob Taylor. Bob, and the rest of the coaches, come on in here, fellas. Come on in, guys. Setting up the group picture here. Coach Taylor, what a performance by this club today. We talked about the fact that you guys had almost 30 minutes time of possession, and when the other team doesn't have the ball, it doesn't matter how good they run or throw it, they can't score, and that's exactly what the Crusaders did today.
Well, this was a great game for us in establishing respect for our program. We felt like we had to come in and play physical ball. They come from a different conference where they think they play physical ball. We had to command the line of scrimmage and command the hitting level right away. That was our goal, and I think we accomplished that. I think it's very important for everyone to know that the family unity of this team and all is created by the great job that the coaches have done. This has been a tremendous ride for us, but it didn't just happen. You know, a game like Joey, he had to step it up today. It was his turn, and we tell him every week somebody else has got to step up. And you're going to find that there's a lot of other great performances in this game today, just as it's been all year long. No doubt about it, there were some great performances, but we in the media like to make stories out of things, and there's no doubt about it that, in our opinion, this game was won at 5 minutes after 1, because after John Brown returns the kickoff and they're starting from the 10-yard line, they could have put you behind for the first time all season, but the defense rose to the challenge, stopped them on 4 downs. You know, we told the guys before we left the school, state championship games always have some type of adversity in them. We're going to have to overcome something today, and I think we got the idea pretty quickly here. But we were able to overcome it, and I think that's the important thing. These guys don't quit. We were ready to go to the last tick of the clock. If we had to go overtime, we'd have been ready for that. There was a lot of pride on the line here today. And, you know, I think people got to wake up and take a look at this team and realize this is one of the finest teams in the state of New Jersey this year. Now, somebody asked me from the truck who knows you a long time ago from your Brearley days when you had to march around the boulevard after a big win. Where are they going to walk around in Clark today? They're going to walk around awful proud wherever they go, I'll tell you that. You did it on the road. When we talked at the Roselle Park game, you said you'd go anywhere to play the state championship. You did. You won. Congratulations. Well, you know, this is a great place to play football. There's a lot of tradition here in Summit. They love their football. And we came here, and I think we showed very proudly against this Summit club. And I just have to say, personally, knowing that, you know, the great job that you've done for us in your commentary over the years, and knowing that this is your last game, breaks our heart as high school football fans. Thank you for all the jobs that you've done for all of our area football over the years, Paul. Bob, I appreciate that very much. Thank you very much. Fellas, thank you very much. Patrick?
I'd like to just kind of recap this season before you begin your dinner to give you a little some of the thoughts for conversation as the evening goes on. You know, in the preseason going into this year, we try to figure where did this all begin? A lot of people think it began at Jefferson. So I kind of think that that's where things began for us. in our undefeated season. Back there in Jefferson, maybe a little bit of that winter and spring weight training program where guys started to feel a little bit differently last year, especially the seniors in preparing for their senior year, and put a little bit more time and effort in, because parents, that's the difference between winning and losing in high school football, staying healthy. And you stay healthy by your injury prevention work in the weight room. And we did an awful lot of that throughout the summer. We had a great bench-a-thon. We had a super Cayuga. Guys caught more fish than ever before. We had some great scrimmages because we found right off the bat that we were a hungry football team. They wanted the challenge, and the challenge began right there. Do you remember what a beautiful night it was in Somerville for the opening kickoff at Immaculata? They met the new tech that day, a lot quicker, and he wouldn't let the center snap the ball. Tech had 3 caused fumbles, 4 tackles, 5 assists. We had to take the game out of the officials' hands early, so we did that with an awful tough defense. Gus had 11 tackles, Ray had 4 tackles, 4 assists, 1 sack. Frankie had 5 tackles. Nick had a sack. It was a big play. Frankie had a big day running the ball, 1 touchdown for 87 yards. Joey Alefi, 1 touchdown, 67 yards. Danny had 101 yards rushing. Greg had 3 catches. Jason had a clutch field goal. We held them to 67 total yards. Nobody shuts out Immaculata. And their coach said in the paper next day that we simply smothered them. There was nothing he felt he could call that we could stop. We showed a lot of championship poise under pressure that night, and it was a great start for our season.
We knew we had to present a balanced attack because they play such tenacious defense. We knew we wouldn't be able to just muscle them, but we had to be cute. We had to have our trick plays. We had to have our counter series in. But in the ultimate, we did out-muscle them. We got physical with the counter series. We got tough with the dives, and we just blocked them off the ball. But there was extra efforts throughout the evening on blocks, on runs. When we needed the field goal and the extra point and the kicking game, it was there for us. And that 3 points was critical. But our kick coverage just let people know we were there for business. We swarmed. Everybody got 1 shot and then came and got another. Defensively, we just ran to the ball. The explosiveness of our hitting made a big difference in the game. Ludek to Layden became our trademark in many critical situations throughout the remainder of the year. None more than this game, because we didn't want to pound all night long and come off it with the option. We had to have them guessing at every point. We knew the Zebras would be working for the Spartans, so we had to make the plays. It wasn't that a great one. Danny was a wizard hiding that ball, and in the night air, with the lights a little dim, it was awful tough for them to see who had it. And I think sometimes when they knew 34 had it, they looked the other way. Roselle, always a power in our conference. This year they come in with 4 Division I defensive backs. We knew we had to challenge them. We had to make them cover us in order to get them off us so we could run the ball. We hit them with our slants and our timing patterns in the early going. We had to make the big plays because we knew if we didn't, we would give them opportunities. Our poise was really evident in this ball game. We were 9 for 14 passing, and we had a 27-point third quarter. We started to get that feeling on the sideline like it was a storm developing. And once it gets going, the only thing that stops it is the end zone. Our strategy and our game plan were solid, and our support began to grow each and every game. We dominated with the offensive line. Scuderi, Harrington, I, Ray, Sams. We blew them off the ball, taking them up the field. And then we started to hit them with the slick game. And Danny showed his 4.6 speed against guys who say they're a lot quicker. We wanted to keep the pressure on them, so we kept throwing the ball. We kept putting them on the defense and having them work with their backs to the end zone. And when we got down close, we rode the Mental Express into the end zone.
Come on, Burrito! Get it, get it, get it, get it!
Our off-speed plays were the key to keeping them off balance. Look at the efforts on the downfield blocks as we take it into the end zone with some great moves by Jason. Everybody working themselves into the end zone. Dayton was our game for the Unico Bowl trophy. And we finally got to keep it for winning our third consecutive game over Dayton. Another storm, 38-0 at halftime, a 22-point first quarter. They blitzed and we passed. Greg had 3 TDs. Danny was 5 for 6. Rossetti, Gunter, Nick, Ray, and Tech harangued their quarterback. We tested our passing and perimeter game because they came prepared to stop our run. We were tenacious covering our kicks. Coach Albano always gets more cranked up for the Dayton game. Frankie let them know early there was going to be a long afternoon when he went after the back on the screen and set the pace with a hit. We all heard that shot, and I'm sure it was a lot louder on their sideline. Tech was off the ball so quick, they responded by having trouble with quarterback-center exchange. We were constantly on the offense, and we were hungry when we got there. Greg made the big play, catching the ball, and we put a lot of pressure on their one-on-one coverage. We knew if they blitzed, we'd get man coverage, and we wanted to be able to take advantage. We knew we would need it as the season progressed. We worked at the option, and Danny tried to be a blocker for us. The work in the weight room kept us healthy.
On the keeper. Ball spotted at about the 7.
Our strategy was sound. Coach Schoaf goes over some extra points there with our coverage team. Scuderi was making a lot of intricate calls in the line of scrimmage to pick up the blitzing that got Danny into the end zone. A lot of nervousness there as we pressure with Billy and Carmen. Greg shows his speed as he outraces and dives and works for that last 6 inches to get him across the goal line. What an effort. We started to feel the togetherness, the good, loving feeling on the sideline that we knew we would need at the end of the season.
It's up, and it's good. And the score stands
We had to keep the pressure on them. We knew they had some young players, and we had to show veteran poise. Our concentration was on the money. Wow, with some great timing.
Turn them inside out, upside down. They didn't know what was going on. And so what do you have to come out every ball game? Did a great job. That's the kind of football we want to play. That's a good start to the game. It's not over. It's not over. Don't cool down. Just recharge. Ready to go in the second half. We want to keep the pressure on up front. Now you're going to see every trick play you've ever seen in a game of football. This is good preparation for us. We need to be intense. We need to be after them up front. We need to be containing and looking for screens at the perimeter. That's with our ends and with our corners. Linebackers, we need to get a little bit deeper now. We can react. They're not going to run the ball down the field and catch up. So we can give them a little room. Let's play it at 5 now. Full 5, 5.5.
We said it would be a man ball when you're covered, right? Tackles. But right now, this highway scheme is creating problems for us with this guy here and this guy here. So let's do this. Anything?
Get in close. Let's go. Get in close. Come on. Hey. We came out like a championship team. Now, some of you younger guys are going to get an opportunity to play. Now, we've held a lot of pride in the way we played. You guys better come in ripping and roaring and go after these guys. We say,
Pride's the name of the game. Pride's what keeps guys working hard, even when the score is a little bit lopsided. And it's important that the older players take pride in what these young guys are doing. They certainly did that. Our efficiency was excellent when our second unit came into the game. Our veterans guided the younger players and even taught Jason a few tricks. Jason shows here that he's going to be a handful as a kicker, runner next year as well. Dennis shows a lot of poise, and of course Eric, he thinks that number is reversed. He looks like 34 out there going into the end zone. The support of our student body this year meant an awful lot to our program, and I'm so proud that they continued to support us, and our players supported many of these same students in their sports seasons. What a great feeling around our building all year long. Defensively, we just worked hard. We kept after them. We didn't want to give them an inch. We wanted the shutout. Jason Rios makes the big play and turns it up the field. Everybody looking to pick up a block and get him into the end zone. We had a unique excitement about everything that went on between the whistles. There's extra efforts on every play by every man. We surprised some of our teams with the size and the efficiency of our second unit.
Coaching staff's a great bunch of guys. I'll never forget them. They helped me out, you know, not just for football, just my everyday life, you know. They made me more of a man. I know I'll keep with me throughout the rest of my life. A lot of things they taught me, helped me out with college. I'm going away to college, and I'll bring a lot of things they taught me. I'll bring with me. My head coach, he was a coach of the year, Coach Bob Taylor. One best coach in the whole New Jersey, and there's no reason why he shouldn't have. He really, truly is. I just want to thank all my teammates. You know, without these guys, none of this would ever happen this year. Great bunch of guys. I'll never forget them throughout my whole life.
The most exciting game for me was the Immaculata game because we were all pumped up. They had hundreds of fans in our stand. We had more fans on our side than theirs, and it was at their game. We were the underdogs, and we shut them out. We held them to like 50 yards offense, and our defense just went crazy. Everybody was so psyched. In pre-game warm-ups, everybody was going crazy. They had a lot of people on their side. They had like 100 people on their roster, but they were trying to intimidate us. It didn't work.
My name's Dan Guzovich. I play linebacker and guard. I'm going to talk about the Jonathan Dayton game. They fooled us a little bit on the first play. They threw a little swing pass out into the flat, and Frank Menzel came up and just nailed the kid, sent him head over heels, and that kind of set the tempo for the game. And from that on, we just dominated them.
My name is Greg Layden. I play wide receiver and defensive back. And I'm here to talk about Immaculata. Before the game, we were all pumped. Coach Taylor gave his legendary speeches before the game. Talked about how last year, how we got shut out 41-0. We had to get a revenge this year, and we got it. We shut them out 23-0. What really started off the game is when Hassler hit the field goal, and we went in at halftime up 3-0, and we came back and we just poured everything on. Scored 23 points. Just took over the game. They only had like 60 yards total offense. Coach even said they couldn't do nothing.
The most memorable game that comes to mind was the Immaculata game when Joe Antonasio ran the first play of the Immaculata game back, the kickoff. We really didn't know how good we were in the beginning of the season, and we really got psyched at that first play when Joe ran that back. It really psyched us all out. We went out and beat them that night. It was a great night, a great win for the football team. After the transition at Braley, I didn't know if I was going to play football. I stayed out my sophomore year, and I missed the game so much I decided to come back and play my junior year just for fun. I didn't know if I was going to start or practice, but Coach Taylor gave me the chance, and I wound up starting my junior and senior year. And after winning a state championship, it's really meant a lot to me, the school, the whole program, Coach Taylor, and I have a state championship ring now, everything that I wanted in my football career. And Johnson Regional football really means a lot to me, and I'll remember it for the rest of my life.
My name is Mike Santangelo. I played left tackle for the Johnson Crusaders this year. And I'd like to talk about a few things. My best game was probably the Summit game. I got changed to guard, and I had a lot of key blocks in that game because we had a special play called the 40 special where running back would go right up through the zero hole, and I had one of the key blocks in that play, and that worked very effectively. Right after that, we moved on to the first round of Caldwell, where of course we were nervous again because it was our first playoff game since last year. We practiced real hard, and we went up there and we beat Caldwell 14-0. Then moved on to Summit. We beat Summit 21-6 for the '95 state championship for Group 2 in North Jersey.
We looked forward with great anticipation to our game with Hillside because they shut us out the year before. We knew they were big, and we wanted the challenge. We saw them on offense, on the films. We knew we had a big day ahead of us. We pressed them in all aspects of the game. We forced them to make mistakes, especially in the kicking game with some pressure from Nick and Billy Prokos. Greg was a handful, but we knew we had to test them against the speed of their defensive backs. We came out on top on that one. Even bouncing it around back there, Jason managed to get it up and through the uprights. And we knew every point would be important. We got ourselves back on offense. And we knew we could give them some confusion factors with different offensive sets. And it seemed to work in the early going. We wanted to put them under the pressure of being behind. Frankie wanted to get in the end zone. He just bounced off people and followed Ray and Sands down the field. We're off the ball, we're moving, and we're tough when we're doing that. And Danny's speed gets him to the corner a lot quicker than they thought he would be there. We needed to go screen, and we came back to Hassler. And he always seems to come up with an extra couple tough yards when we need to get it. We confused him with some sets in order to get Greg free. We knew we had to get him off the ball so they couldn't bump him. And it seemed like when we went to Frankie, they found somebody else to look for. We started to wear him down. We were punishing up front with Ray, Scuderi, Ives, and Harrington. Sands was knocking people off the ball, and this was the day that Prokos blocked 2 punts. Danny was for 7 for 10, 119 yards and 2 touchdowns. Greg's had 5 catches for 72 yards and an interception return. Joey makes the big play, and halftime was a very quiet experience. They scored with 12 seconds left, and at the end of the game, we actually had to have a little bit of lesson in the scoring of the game. We were a little disappointed, but the score was 47-6. We made a decision to play the Middlesex game at 11 o'clock in the morning when it looked like it was clear. We played one of the wettest, mushiest games that we ever played at Johnson, but it didn't slow us down. We made the big plays. We slopped around. We had a lot of fun. All the forecasts were wrong, and we were at risk. And Coach Pete was sure worried about it. But Joe Antanasio had 2 touchdown catches. Danny was 5 for 6. Tech caused 3 fumbles. Defensively, we swarmed. That was the day Johnny Zakruski, our manager, was the MVP, just for keeping the balls dry. Our weight room really showed as we physically pounded them. As soon as they got tired, we kept getting the extra yard and the extra block and another score. We pinned them deep with good coverage. We forced them to be nervous under the ball and always had their backs to the end zone. We swarmed, we moved, we hustled, and we hit. We made some great football plays and created a lot of mistakes on their part that put us in good field position. We wanted to stay wide open and slick, even though the weather was not good. We knew we would have to be sharp later in the season in the cold, wet weather. Joey with another great play on a hitch and go. Danny gets a great read, and we keep him untouched with great blocking up front. Frankie was punishing, but the blocks downfield were making a big difference. Our concentration was not hindered by the bad weather that day. 36-0 at halftime, but we came out storming again, and this time it was Hassler, bobbing and weaving, and cutting to the middle of the field for another score. Even Lenny got in on the scoring action, making a great play, coming in, getting a little bit of work on the offensive side of the ball.
Let's go! Come on!
We wanted to get a quick start at Manville. We worked hard up the field on the opening kickoff. They've always given us trouble, so we wanted to be ready for them. We knew Danny's speed would be too much for them in the secondary, but we had to get him past the line of scrimmage, not only with good blocking, but with good faking as well. Our kickoff coverage teams got more important to us as the year went on. Jason did a great job putting it down the field, and they covered it well. Gunter and Tech and Ray swarmed. They physically beat these guys up. Nick and Carmen Rossetti anchored the end spot and contained everything. Our linebackers, Guzzy and Frankie, filled the holes and blasted people on the way up. We covered the pass and we contained the sweep with speedy secondary people. One-on-one, we were a handful. Our linemen had pride to keep Danny clean. Carmen was the field general. He made the calls, and everybody responded. Sanj and Ray did the bulk of the heavy-duty work, taking the big guys off the ball. And Billy and Guz and Tommy Harrington drove the people off the ball with tenacity from the guard spot. When we got near the end zone, you knew what was coming and you couldn't stop it. Frankie following the big guys, Gunter, Guz, Sanj, and Ray.
And the score stands Crusaders 15, Mustangs nothing.
Defense, we'd swarmed them. We ran, we changed directions, we hustled. All the things we worked on all summer long, we put into action on the field. We had confidence. And we knew we could make the big plays. Danny was a magician, hiding the ball, pitching the ball. And when he turned it upfield, he thought he was a 6-foot, 200-pound running back. Nothing held him back.
On the tackle. Move
around a little bit, Bud.
And when Danny got in trouble, he knew who to go to. Layden was always out there somewhere trying to get free and usually winding up in the end zone. What a combination. They could feel each other. The boot was a big play, and we normally had Nick in the end zone. This time it turned into coverage on Nick, ball to Greg. We had too many options for everyone to shut him down. There was always somebody free, and always somebody working to the ball.
Third down, about 6.
Guz makes the big pop, but we had a lot of, our staff did a lot of scouting work to prepare our guys to know from certain sets what different plays we could expect. And it really allowed us to tee off and make things happen. Our effort continually put us in good standing by having us prepared to make the big play. No one rested. Everybody worked. Coach Pete put some new wide sets in to pressure the defense, and they just ran out of people to cover the talented receivers that we had spread all over the field. Everybody was ready. And everybody contributed. We were businesslike, and we changed our complexion with many different styles of attack. We rolled, we sprinted, we dropped back, put a lot of pressure on secondary coverage with so many people capable of doing things. Nick makes the big play on the fake draw and puts us in scoring position once again. Joey makes the first of his 2 interceptions that once again puts us across in scoring position, ready to go into the end zone. Our cheerleaders did a great job of keeping the spirit up as the fans began to grow and more people wonder what was going on with the Johnson football program. Our young guys probably had the toughest job overall because they had to face that varsity unit every day on the practice field. Our opponents had it easy. They only had to face them one time a year. Probably the worst field conditions of the year welcomed us at Berkeley Heights. When we ran down the center of the field and I lost my shoe in the mud, I knew it was going to be tough trucking in the middle of the field. We talked about designing our offense on the better part of the field and watching field position when we made our play calls, so we always had footing that would be helpful. The middle of the field was tough, and it cost us Carmen Scuderi on the first series, injuring his ankle. Billy Ives stepped in, and we didn't miss a tick. We just kept on moving down the field. We held them to 73 total yards in a great defensive effort. It's always a battle up at Berkeley Heights, but we were ready for war on this day. We were slick, and we broke the seam with some outstanding combination of passing and running. When Danny had the option, he was an awful tough guy to stop at the corner, because if you thought you were going to get hit with Menzel, he'd pull it and step right around you. Joey came back and showed a little bit of his old speed after an injury kept him off the field for a couple of weeks. Defensively, we love the mud. Carmen Rossetti making a big play on the interception. Nick DeCorso making a great diving catch to get us in the inside the 5. Danny awful tough when you get down that low. The mud gets thicker as the game goes on, and there's a lot of slipping and sliding. But Joey Alefi's slipping down the field following some big blocks. Ray, Guz, Billy Ives, Tommy Harrington, Frankie with the big kick out, and Joe Alefi's back in the end zone. A lot of difficulty planting that foot in the mud, but Jason gets it done. Another interception, and we're back in scoring position. And now the young guys are getting their chance again. And they mean business. Those white shirts won't stay white too long today, as Eric Gerstner goes in for another score. Robo breaks the scoring column with a boot to make it 46-0.
And calling signals today is Dan Ludek. He's going to throw on first down. He goes to Layden. Layden has it, spins away from tackles, leaves the football on the ground. And the officials quickly say it is Johnson football. Menzel has the ball. Menzel has big yardage up the middle. He's into the secondary, still on his feet. Menzel still going, dragged down from behind as he crosses the 25-yard line. Frank Menzel. Ludek gives it to the first man through, and that is Joe Alefi. Again, Ludek looking to throw. His favorite target is Layden. Layden has it. It's a catch for 4, maybe 5 yards. First and goal from the 9. To Menzel. Menzel dives forward, a gain of at least 2, maybe 3 on the play. Ludek keeps the ball. Ludek dives over the top, and he's got the score. 3-yard touchdown run for Dan Ludek. If anything, that's the one very soft area on the field, right where Bowden has his knee. Low snap. Bowden gets the placement there, and give a lot of credit to Dennis Bowden.
Nobody realizes how big of a play that is and how quick he has a full line rushing in on him. He takes that snap on 2 hops and gets the placement down, and Johnson Regional able to convert for the 7-0 lead.
There is Bob Taylor on the near sidelines, the head coach of the Johnson Crusaders. There is Greg Layden, the senior, with 28 catches this year, and now with 2 today, he's got 30. And Ludek fakes to him, gives it to Alefi. Alefi breaks a tackle and has first down yardage. Kevin Vargas knocks him off his feet, but Joe Alefi with first down yardage for the Crusaders.
Well, I think there's a flag on the play.
Quick kick. Hassler gets it away. Takes a Johnson roll just across the 40. Less than a yard. Alefi has the first down and more. Into the secondary, still going. Alefi cuts field and is finally brought down by Galicchio and Heath. Ludek loops it, completes it to Alefi, and Alefi's going to go in for the score. A 30-yard touchdown pass from Ludek to Alefi.
And that's what you call a touch pass. What a pretty pass. Right over the outstretched hands of Bob Harms for the touchdown. Beautiful pass, beautiful reception.
3rd and 5 coming up for Roselle Park. Bob Taylor, one of the hardest working men in football.
That staff earns their money.
Plenty of late nights watching films. 3rd and 5. Matthews in motion. Gives a little tap to Harris. Good protection for Harris. Airs it out. Intercepted. Intercepted by Guzovich. And Guzovich is going to go for the score. Dan Guzovich with the interception TD. And it's a 19-0 Johnson lead.
What a great play by the senior. Guzovich put his hand up and tapped it to himself. Was able to come up with the ball and go down the sideline for the touchdown.
They have held Johnson to 12 points offensively. Of course, it's 19-0 with the interception returned by Guzovich. But 12 points, which is certainly the lowest of the year at this point. 3rd and 12. Ludek looking to throw, gets his footing, goes across the middle, completes it to Layden. Delicchio brings him down. I'll tell you, 2 and 3, Ludek and Layden, they know where each other is at all the time. A couple of 1AAs are interested in him, particularly as an option-type quarterback. And the thing about the Ludek brothers, as Bob Taylor points out, they grow and get bigger as they get older. Now, he's a senior, but his brothers were both smaller. And there's the fake to Menzel. And Menzel has first down yardage.
But nice little fake there, and they get the first. Well, they're going to call for a measurement.
And it is a first down. Johnson fans love it. 1st and 10. Sometimes I can figure this stuff out just like that. I'll tell you, these Rutgers grads. 1st and 10.
And on your feet.
Ludek looking to throw. Gets away the pass. Completed to Atanasio. He'll walk it into the end zone. Second touchdown pass of the day for Dan Ludek.
And that was on 1st and 10. It surprised everybody on the football field. Atanasio found himself wide open, holding the pass for the touchdown.
For Atanasio, his 5th TD reception of the year. For Ludek, his 16th touchdown toss. And the kick is good.
Crusaders 26, Panthers 10.
Roselle Park trails by 26. We're with 8 minutes and 38 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Trips right. Delicchio and Texon Kim is just having a tremendous ball game today with the ankle pick.
Texon Kim's been there all day long. Coaching staff talked about it being one of the biggest differences on defense, and that's true. He's been in on at least 5 or 6 big plays defensively for Johnson.
Bob Taylor, an enthusiastic coach. He has his fellows ready. I'll tell you, the way they play defense,
Trade right.
whoever gets them in the opening round of the playoff has got to be concerned that if you give up 1 or 2 scores to Johnson, you're done for the year. First and 10 for the Panthers. Unofficially 11 seconds left in the ball game. Harris looking to throw. Airs it out long, trying to get on the scoreboard. Tipped away, incomplete. Layden was there to slap it away.
And they have still 1 more play left.
Could be the final play of the ball game. Harris looking to throw. He'll air it out long down the right side. Slapped away, completed, touchdown. Touchdown, Roselle Park. Kevin Vargas on the receiving end of the tipped ball. And that is the end of the ball game. With the final score, Johnson 26, Roselle Park 6. We'll head down to the field for the post-game show right after this.
Bonnell Field in Caldwell for the first round of the state playoffs. What a great traditional field and a great background for the opening of the playoffs. Playing against a real tough, hard-hitting football team. We had to show them right off the bat with Danny's efforts that we could play tough. They came out introduced by smoke, and we cooled them off with our first drive. We were hot with the slant pass to Greg, with a lefty running the ball, with Danny running the option, and Frankie on the pitch side. A little bit different look for the Caldwell Chiefs. But we knew we had to change things up. We couldn't remain the same. We knew they had scouted us well. We were playing against an outstanding coaching staff and an outstanding team. We needed that extra work, that extra drive, and Joe Aleffi was now healed and ready to give a senior performance in a playoff situation. When we got inside the 5, we knew we had to go to the big guy. He would find a way in. Scuderi, Ives, Guzovich, Santangelo, Radziniak, all driving their opponents into the end zone. We stayed after them with the kicking game. We hustled down the field. We made the hits we needed to maintain good field position. Defensively, we stuck. We were a wall of white. We hit, we moved to the ball, we hit again. We chased that quarterback and made him off the ball. We made the plays and kept the ball in good field position. We knew we had to keep the ball out of their hands. So we kept it in the hands of Danny and his ability to run the option. We knew we had to throw the ball and we weren't going to be shy. Even if things didn't go our way, we knew we had to keep them defending the pass to run our offense effectively. Mistakes didn't fluster us. It just brought us closer together and made us work harder for the big play. Tech and Ray and Gunter swarmed up front. Billy and Nick attacked on the outside in the punting game. And we worked to keep field position. We knew we had to keep the ball and run the clock. We made a lot of great plays, but to give them credit, they made some good ones as well. We just couldn't complete the scoring drive for the second touchdown that we needed. We needed a little breathing room, and they would not give it to us. So we kept the ball, we worked down the field. When we made mistakes, we just got on defense and worked hard. They had a lot of weapons, so we had to work to shut them down. It was a chess game. They'd move their tackle, we'd move ours. When they got a little bit of momentum, we had to make some changes on defense. We realized in the importance of a game like this, we might have to settle for a close score. So we tightened it up and worked hard with our kicking game. Hassler makes a great play and then follows it with one that's even better. An interception. Return with some great blocking for the score we needed and puts us in the finals against Summit. What a beautiful place to spend Thanksgiving morning. Unterman Field in Newark, playing the Blue Devils of Central. A good, tough, hard-nosed city football team. But they weren't ready for the kids from the country. We hit them, and then we hit them again. We swarmed them, we fooled them, and we beat them up. We pushed them around, and we got into the end zone. We created pressure and forced mistakes, which allowed us to get into the end zone again. They had a lot of great athletes, but we learned a long time ago it's not enough to win. Teamwork and preparing for the finals was our goal for this day. Everybody contributed. We swarmed in our coverage, and we kept them down deep. Cherry was a great running back, and we worked to contain him. We did it by running to the ball and making sure tackles. It was a physical game, but we created pressure. Billy Prokos completes a great season of pressure with a touchdown. He pressured all year long, and he got the reward on that play. We picked them apart with our passing game. And we finished them off with the option. At 34-0 at halftime, we had a great plan of what we were going to do in the second half to prepare for Summit. But Greg Layden and a lot of great blocking up front kind of took our plans away with a one-way trip to the end zone on the opening kickoff of the second half. The score was out of reach at this point, so we had to sit the seniors and get them ready for the finals at Summit. We worked on some new plays with motion to try to give our opponents who are scouting from Summit some things to worry about. We wanted to stay wide open. We wanted to fill their scouting book with things that they would have to work on. We went to the counter dive, and Joey popped up the middle. Ray buries the guy on the down block. Guz steps out, and Joey follows him right into the end zone. Billy Prokos leads the way on the power with a big block for Eric Gerstner, and the young guys step right up and move into the action. They're moving around some pretty big studs up front there. And the guys that are doing it are the guys you'll see in action next year on the ALJ gridiron.
Before the Caldwell game, I was very sick. I had 103 fever, and I thought that I was going to be very, how should I say this? Well, I thought it could hurt me a lot because I was going against one of the top players in the state named Anthony Casciano. He was named third team All-State, but not that day. I had 15 tackles and 3 sacks against him. It was one of my better games, and that's the game I remember the most about this season, the great season that we had.
It was Park Week. The game was going to be televised, and everybody was all riled up and everything. We couldn't wait. We were all excited and everything. And we all had the stickers on the helmets, Punish Park. And, you know, the practices were real intense. Everybody was getting real hyped up for the game. And then finally Saturday came. The game was on TV. And right before kickoff, Coach was all hyped up and he was yelling, and we were all getting all into it and everything like that. And right from the kickoff, it was just an intense, hard-hitting game. And there were tons of people there to watch. In the final seconds of the game against Roselle Park, they threw a Hail Mary, and it was tipped by like me, Greg, Jason, and Joe. And then finally, one of Roselle Park wide receivers caught the ball and they ended up scoring on the last play of the game when the clock ran out. So, but you know, we were all happy. We still won. Final was like 26-6, I think it was. So, we all enjoyed that victory.
The first play at Summit when we kicked off and they ran it back, our defense showed how strong they've been all year. Just took over. The whole line just pushed them back, and they couldn't gain a yard. And we took over on offense. From then on, the game was ours.
The coaches were great all year. I mean, we were better prepared than any team, you know, I've ever seen. I mean, we worked hard all time during practice, but like, I mean, we always knew the game plan right from the beginning. We knew what the other team was going to do. We watched films all the time. I mean, I don't think there's any better coaches in the state. They were definitely the best. Coach Taylor got Coach of the Year, and well-deserved, very well-deserved. I mean, he was definitely a great coach. We were always motivated and always knew, you know, always had a great game plan, very well coached.
And it all started in, I'm going to talk about Caldwell and how we felt coming out. It was their home field, and we'd been in the playoffs before, and they came out with drums and like a cannon blast and everything, and we weren't intimidated by that. We knew that we were good enough to play with any team, and that just helped us in the beginning of the game. And once we started playing, we forgot about being nervous and just took it from there. That was our start into the playoffs. And as you know, we won against Summit, too.
Hi, my name is Carmen Scuderi. I played center for the Johnson State Championship football team. What I remember most about the season is when we played Immaculata. We won 23-0, shut them out. I think that's when we went from thinking we're going to be state champs to knowing we're going to be state champs. I also remember just being with the guys, playing ball, and feeling like we were invincible and couldn't lose.
I'm Nick DeCorso. I play defensive end, tight end for Johnson Crusaders. Year of 1995 football was definitely the best year of my life. I've been playing football for 11 years since I'm in 3rd grade. And ever since I'm a little kid, always thought about dreaming of winning the state championship game. And this is my junior year. We got close, and I knew it had to happen with the guys I played football with for my senior year. This team is a great team. You couldn't have a perfect mix of guys together, you know. It's just great quarterback, great line, great defense. You couldn't have a more perfect team. You know, ever since we beat Caldwell like 2 weeks before that game, you know, you started thinking about it. You try not to think about it because, you know, you have to focus on North Central. But, you know, you can't help. It's in the back of your mind, the Summit game, and it gets getting more intense as closer as it gets, you know. The closer you get to the week, then finally we beat North Central. I think it was 54-6, and beat North Central. And then all we had to do was focus on Summit. And just every night it was hard to go to sleep thinking about it, you know. You had to think about the kind of crowd you were going to play in front of and the strength of the team you're going to play and how good they were. And then opening kickoff, they ran that kickback, you know. And you going into the game, you had the confidence like you could actually have no doubt of beating them, and then they returned that kickoff like that. But we stood strong, and you know, I had a good pass there. You know, I almost got into the end zone, but that was a problem I had getting into the end zone this year, you know. But anyway, it was just the greatest feeling I ever had in my life, you know. That's why football is the best sport ever.
My name is Joe Atanasio. I play receiver and free safety for Johnson. And I remember start of the season, I ran the opening kickoff of Immaculata back to the 3-yard line. I got tackled. I thought I was in the clear running down the field, and just came out of nowhere and got me. And that's the thing I remember most about the season, because nobody ever lets me live it down or lets me forget it. I hear it every day. Probably one of the most memorable touchdowns was on that trip against Roselle Park, because that's our biggest rival. I remember I scored the last touchdown of the game for us on the hitch and go. I must have had the kid beat by about 30 yards because he had no chance. He just, the play everybody got burnt with. He bit and he was done. I remember on the Hillside game, they called the two-back screen, and we have conversions. We have visual conversions on the field. So I gave Danny a signal, and he gave me a little nod, and we converted to a deep pass instead of a screen. We converted to a fade. So I just took off and scored a touchdown, and it was just on a conversion, made it kind of cool. It was a great season all year long. Guys were always together. We always used to hang out every night before the games and everything. We were always like a family, always together. We used to party after the games together, hang out. After our state championship game, we wasted no time. We were partying hardy that night at my house, hanging out, and we were all together again, just the whole team together as a family, because that's the way we are all season. That's the way it's going to stay, because we accomplished something not many teams can do, and we'll remember it for the rest of our lives.
I'm Dan Ludek, the quarterback of the Johnson team. It's just been a dream season for us this year. We were such a confident team all year round. We just knew we were going to be state champs, 11-0. The first game of the season, Immaculata, all we had in our minds was last year, that 41-0 defeat we suffered out here on the field. And I could just remember going into that game and all of us so confident, you know. And then Joey took that opening kickoff, something like 98 yards, and he fumbled, but it really didn't matter because we got the ball back. And that just started the season off. That was just summed up our season right there, how good we are. And we played so tough against that team. And it really should have been like 21-0 at halftime, but we were a little bit rusty in the beginning. And we came off that field with a 23-0 defeat, and we just knew how the rest of the season was going to go. And I can remember a play during that game. It was, I think it was the 34 load option. And I took the ball upfield, and I was on the sideline trying to get as much yards as I can before I got out of bounds. And I got hit out of bounds, a late hit. And I flew right into Coach Albano, and he just went down. He went flying. I thought he was hurt. And I saw him slide under the bench, and he tried to get up, and he hit his head, and he was cursing under his breath. And I had to hold him back because he was going after that guy from Immaculata. But that was a very funny memory for me. I remember this pass to Greg Layton. Not quite sure. I think it was a corner. It was a corner route. And I let him a little too much, but I don't know how he caught this ball, but it just seemed to stick on the tips of his fingers, and he pulled it in. I remember that was a great catch by him. And I could also remember a Roselle game, a couple of runs I had. I had 3 touchdown runs that game, and but only 2 counted because one got called back. But I remember all week in practice, Coach Taylor telling us, "You're not going to outrun these guys. You're not going to outrun them. They're quicker than you. They're faster. You got more speed." But I remember when I broke out into the open field, I just ran as fast as I could. Greg Layton, who caught everything I threw at him, is just one of the best receiver or person that I've ever thrown a ball to. He made me what I am. He made me a good quarterback because some of the stuff I threw, he just grabbed out of nowhere. And we've been playing catch together since we were about 6 years old, and we know each other pretty well. We don't really have to talk that much. We just know what we're gonna do. And I believe he caught 10 of or 9 of my touchdown passes this year, and I had 18, so he caught half of my touchdown passes. And he made me who I am for the most part. I can remember the opening kickoff for Summit when they took that kickoff back all the way down to the, I think it was 2-yard line, and that really was, people would expect that to take the wind out of us when in fact it really didn't. And we just knew on defense we had to go out there and just keep them out of the end zone. Our job was to keep them out of the end zone, and we did just that. And as I stepped out on the field for offense, I was just hoping not to get a safety and just to keep ramming the ball down their throats and just moving the ball down. And our offensive line did a great job doing that, blocking, just a line surge and everything. And we wound up, I think, having a punt, but that was a very successful drive for us either way. During the Summit game, our state championship game, we introduced a new play called the screen draw, which was very successful, and Joey did a heck of a job with that, as well as the line and Carmen Scuderi taking out the middle as well as he did. This play would have been very successful throughout our season, but if we did that throughout the season, we would not have been as successful as we were with it in Summit. But Joey just took that ball and he was running. He hit the hole so fast, and his speed was amazing. I wish we would have had him all year, but unfortunately we lost him to an injury. I think it was our second game, but he showed how well he played during Summit with that play right there.
Hi, my name is Texon Kim. I was the nose guard for the 1995 Arthur L. Johnson Crusader football team. This season was very special to me, as far as making the state finals and meeting new people and just being with people that I love and appreciate, working with Coach Taylor and Coach P and the coaching staff, how they improved me as a football player and as a person. That was very special to me, and I will never forget that in my whole life. It was the Russell Park game. I think it was 4th and 1, and they were on the drive, and I stopped, I think with Colicchio and the lost yard, and so they didn't get the first down. So then we took it over. I remember one play, I think it was Middlesex, when the fullback was trying to block me, but I shed him and I got the tackle. That was very. Also, I remember one play, I think it was Manville. I think it was a sweep to the right. I shut I blocked the center and I moved to the right. And as the fullback was trying to block me, I shed him and I got the block and I got the tackle. I think the game that I improved most on was the Roselle Park game. I think I had somewhat like 12 tackles, 9 solos, 2 fumble recoveries. I think that game really meant a lot to me, and I did my best as in all games, but I think that game was a very special game to me.
Hi, my name is Jason Rios. I played linebacker and corner for the state championship team at Johnson Regional, and I have to say this was one of the best years we had in a long time since the conference championship in '91. And one of the highlights for me was in the Jonathan Dayton game. I played prevent corner. I played corner for prevent. And I played pretty much the whole game. And starting, I guess, right after the beginning of the third quarter, I had an interception. And I ran it back. When I first caught the ball, I blacked out totally because I was so shocked it came into my hands. I ran it back to about the 10-yard line. I was getting so happy. I saw the end zone, and then all of a sudden, somebody just jumped on my back and fell flat on my face. But next play, I think 2 plays later, Hassler scored, so I sent him up for a touchdown, so it was pretty good. Roselle Park was one of my favorite. I play special teams also, and on the kickoff, I had we were going against a really good runner by the name of Jamie Galicchio, and the first time on kickoff, I totally missed him. He cut on me, and I totally missed him, missed the tackle totally. And the next time I got in, on kickoff, it was towards the, I guess, halftime or second half, and I just ran down there with like reckless abandon, just walloped him. And on TV, it was a TV3 game too, so I felt good about it. I watched it on tape, and you could see when he gets up, he's jumping around and everything, and he's like trying to shake the cobwebs out. So I felt good about that. I mean, that was another highlight on special teams.
The dream of every football player is to play for a championship.
And here we are, 10-0, going into the finals to play at Tatlock Field against Summit on a beautiful, crisp December day with a packed house and everything on the line. We were poised. We were ready. We had dreamed about it. We had prepared for it. It's what had motivated us from the ride back from Jefferson in the semifinal loss by 1 point. We dedicated ourselves to being champions. As we prepared for the game, we were so concerned about the win. We wanted to make the right decision to have it our way for the opening kickoff. We decided to defer. They took the ball. We had the wind. Everything was the way we wanted it. We knew our kickoff coverage had done a great job, and with a little bit of a breeze, Jason could put that thing in the end zone. But we got under it a little bit, and they mishandled it, and we relaxed. And they made a great play. And they brought the ball back to the 11-yard line. Joey Aleffi, Greg, and Nicky Spagnola wouldn't let him in the end zone. And it was up to the defense to keep him out. It was all on the line very early. We said before we left we would be tested, and we were tested early. We ran to the corner and kept them out. We knew that was a big play, but we knew from that point on that they would be coming at our big guys in the middle of the field. And Gunter and Tech and Ray would have to do the job with Phil from Guz, Frankie, and our ends, DeCorso, Rossetti. We needed to contain with our corners, and we did it with Lenny, Joe Atanasio, Greg. The big play was on that sneak, and he drove his knee to the ground and got the ball back. What a great play. What a great start.
It is short. So Johnson will take over just shy of the goal line. And Ludek looks to throw on second down. Has an open man in Greg Layden. And Layden pulls it in at the 20. It is a first down for the Crusaders. Greg Layden with his 41st catch of the season. A talented senior. Great return by John Brown and a great goal line stand by Johnson. Here's Aleffi with a big hole to the right side, still on his feet, and finally dragged down by Chuck Mullins, but not until he gains 15 yards and another Johnson first down. From the 35, Menzel, fumble, recovered by the Hilltoppers. Jamal Stewart at the bottom of the pile, and Summit has the ball at the 41. Well, they look like they're going to work on Layden, who again is only 5'9", 150, but a world of speed and great hands. Third and a little over 10. Schroeder, the lefty, again looking to throw, looking for Torres across the middle. Redziniak has a shot at him. Schroeder will throw to Fouché, who loses the ball and then takes a big hit from Frank Menzel.
Oh, Frank Menzel got him good there. He was going to make sure he wasn't catching that ball.
He'll be kicking into a very stiff wind. And you could see the effect on his kick immediately. Even though it was a line drive kick, immediately the wind knocked it down, forced it out at about the 30-yard line. So that's where Johnson will start their second possession. Ludek gives it to Aleffi. Aleffi through the opening hole. He's got 20 yards, 22, and a first down. And for the first time today, we're going to be playing this football game in Summit territory. Fake to Menzel. Ludek's going to keep it. A huge hole on the left side. Cuts it back into the middle. He's knocked down at the 7. Huge opening to the left side. First and goal from the 3. Brian Renda split out way left. Atanasio way right. The give to Menzel. Menzel still fighting forward. He's got the touchdown. Frank Menzel with his 15th touchdown of the season.
There's nothing special there. Just power it with Frank Menzel to the right side behind your big gun.
2:32 left in the first quarter. Peter Torres in motion for the Hilltoppers to give to Fouché. Fouché running right, big hole, and he'll carry it out to the 25-yard line. A gain of 5 on first down for Kawan Fouché.
You know, they're saying, hey, come on, come and get me, Riziniak. Come and get me, De Corso. And, oh.
3rd and 6. Blitz is on. Schroeder steps up through the pocket, dives forward, loses the football, recovered by Summit. But we've got, yes, Summit recovers. Chuck Mullins on the recovery, and it will be a Hilltopper first down. Boy, he's been a workhorse already with 8 carries. First down, just shy of the 50. Fouché, carry number 9. Boy, Radziniak stands him up after he got 1. Ray Radziniak, 6'4", 260-pound senior, one of the highly recruited players in the state of New Jersey. That will do it for the first quarter of play. Gets a good snap back to Schroeder, who hangs up a good kick. Layden going back. Layden fields it at the 12 and is immediately brought down by Jamal Stewart. So Johnson will start at their own 11. Layden comes in close. Again, he is tightly marked by Jamal Stewart. Ludak going to air it out long for Layden, who almost gets it on the dive. What an effort. Very good receiver.
That's for sure.
Ludak keeps it himself, big opening, dives for the first down. Valentin knocks him off his feet, but it is a first down. Fakes the toss, again that little delay, spin handoff to Alefi. Alefi's got 10, he's got 15, to the outside 20, 25 yards for Joe Alefi. So they went back to the well on a very successful play, and it works again. Summit defense now has to tighten up. Alefi again, 10 yards. He's got another first down. Ludak rolls to his right, throws, completes it to De Corso. De Corso inside the 10, inside the 5, finally dragged down by Valentin at the 2. From the 2. Menzel, he's got a touchdown, and he is now the leading scorer for the season in Union County. 89-yard scoring drive for Johnson. It carried 9 plays. Menzel scoring his second touchdown from 2 yards out. Ludak running the conversion. Johnson 14, Summit nothing. That Johnson drive, 4 minutes and 58 seconds. Temperatures in the mid-40s. A cool but comfortable day for this championship game. 3rd and 8 for the Crusaders. Ludak looking to throw. Plenty of time in the pocket, intercepted by Schroeder. Schroeder with the interception. He returns it about 3 yards. And Summit takes over with 3:08 left in the half for Steve Schroeder, his second interception of the season. The Summit cannon gets a chance to roar on the interception. 3:08 left in the half.
Oh, little flea flicker.
Schroeder looking to throw, looking long. Layden on the coverage, completed at the 3.
Fumbled.
Touchdown. He made it into the end zone. Touchdown. Kevin Schmidt on the receiving end of the 42-yard touchdown pass.
Well, there we saw Steve Schroeder's arm on that one, and he heaved it up there, and there's a touchdown.
Let's start the third quarter of football action at the Johnson 24-yard line. Ray McCran looks on. His defense needs to put in a big performance here at the start of half number 2. Alefi is stopped immediately at the line, so the Summit defense big on play number 1 of the second half. 3rd and 6. That is what makes him such a dangerous quarterback. Showing blitz. Lovell is coming. Ludak still has it, and he goes right to the open field. He's got the first down, the 40. He's at the 50. Cuts it back to the middle. Dives over one player. Finally tripped up by Vincent Martin.
That time they caught someone on a blitz, and they made him pay for it, because I believe Dan Ludak had the veer call, and he took it himself. He read the whole thing coming, and I'm sure he audibled at the line of scrimmage, something that another feature he brings, and he just takes that down the sideline. Again, a couple of juke moves here. He swings back this way, and he's down the sideline for a nice pickup. And that's one of the dimensions he definitely brings.
28-yard pickup for Dan Ludek.
Yeah, it's a major difference.
And they are holding on to the football. Fake to Menzel, pitch to Alefi. He kicks it down on the field. Alefi will pick it up and go to the turf just across the 50, but a huge loss. That is a 20-yard loss on the play in the TV3 area.
What's going on here, Paul?
It looks like they might be going for it, and they are. It's a quick kick to Hassler. This is a weapon that Johnson used often. John Brown looking to field it, and he does pick it up on a hop at the 16-yard line, and he immediately is covered over. So Johnson uses the quick kick often. They use it very well, and Hassler showed it there, kicking.
Yeah, that was a good kick.
Into the wind.
Very effective.
So, big men up front for the Johnson Crusaders. The give to Menzel. Pushes the pile forward. Should be very close to a first down. He had to. And it is first down, Johnson. Under 2 minutes to go from the 24. First down. Fake to Menzel, pitch to Alefi. Lots of running room. Inside the 20, the 15. He's got a first down. He's inside the 10. Joe Chisholm finally chases him down from behind, but Joe Alefi carries it inside the 10. Alefi gets a big block from Menzel, reaches for the end zone, and he's in. 20-6.
And Joey Alefi just stretched that ball over the end zone, stretched it out, and there's the touchdown.
6-yard touchdown run for Joe Alefi, his 5th rushing score of the year. Hassler looking for the point. Yes! And this time he puts it through.
Here we go. We got Dan Ludek going to be just handing it off to Joe Alefi. Joe Alefi gets a great block by Frank Menzel, kicks out the end, and Joe Alefi just stretches that ball through, and that is it. There's the touchdown.
Under 10 minutes to go in the sectional final. Alefi loses the ball, and Critelli comes up with it for Summit. The 4th turnover of the football game, and the 2nd time that Alfie Critelli has come up with the ball.
What do you think, Paul? We'll see a flea flicker before the end of the game?
Yeah, I don't know if they'll go back to that one yet. Torres in motion to the far side of the field. Schroeder on the screen to Fouché, immediately read by Rossetti. Carmine Rossetti was there. He had responsibility for Fouché. It's a loss of 10 yards on the reception. With the tackle, Rossetti, a 6'1" senior. Schroeder's pass knocked down.
Nick DeCorso on the block down. Had his hands up. Now, he's a big guy himself. He's 6'1", 160. But with his hands up, he created a big wall.
Out of the shotgun. Pressure applied by Hassler, and Schroeder is sacked for a loss of 4. Tech's son Kim had him by the ankles. It's one of the ways to win a title. Don't hurt yourself with penalties. Oddly enough, they've had the turnovers, but none that really have hurt them. Well, the one resulted in a Summit score. Schroeder throwing against the grain. Tight end screen for Mullins, and Alefi wraps him up, and Joe Alefi has played a whale of a football game today on both sides of the ball for the Crusaders.
Yep.
And the clock is on the move. Bob Taylor will win his 5th sectional title as a coach. The first ever at Johnson Regional.
It'll be his second 11-0 campaign for a state title.
Ray McCran and Bob Taylor meet at midfield, and it is the players from Johnson Regional High School in Clark who celebrate the Section 2 Group 2 championship game. The final score, Johnson 21, Summit 6. We'll be back.
And remember, when you guys get together, nothing can stop you. Yes. The storm was here today. Yes. You did it. You won a state championship. I love you. Hug a coach before you leave. State champ! 1, 2, 3, state champ!
The story of the team of 1995 is a unique story because they in fact were a dream team. A team of guys who had to come together from two separate programs and build something special. And it took a lot of time and effort, and it took a lot of coordination between an outstanding coaching staff and a truly dedicated group of young men. It's the statistics of a team that scored 424 points and gave up just 24 is something that will long be remembered in Union County and even in many areas of the state where our games have been played and people have seen this team. From the opening kickoff at Immaculata, the culmination of the summer programs, the trips to Cayuga, the hard work and the dedication that goes into making a championship all came together. We thank you all for joining us, and we thank you for being a part of the Johnson Victory Tour 95. See you next year.